So I have to show you this as best I can. These Muppets will always do this, and I don't know why. They're just Muppets. This boy didn't even just get it in there properly. That's some awesome parking right there. And then these old boys, if they want to get out, good luck with that. You got no chance. There's me. That boy just pulled in. You got this boy here. I think I can clear him. If I go in that direction, I think I can make the cut and go up round the back. We're about to find out. So, this is the ability of us in this day and age to, yeah, have at it, as they say. So there you go. It's some awesome parking right there. The old boy up there is trying to bag in, EPES. He looked at my spot and I'm like, you won't get in with him there, no chance. That geezer just said bollocks, I'm done. So, I'll check my load real quick, which I've already done, but we'll do it again. So you know, I had some good thunder earlier, but it's all still the same. You can't really see, which is fine. But it's coming up close to midnight Central Time. It's close to 1 o'clock Eastern Time. That's what I said. We'll get on down the road. You can't see me. You can see me because they're very bright. They don't do so well in the snow though, because they don't produce enough heat. So the snow sticks to them. That's why the video coming down from Baraboo, most of them boys' lights, you couldn't see them because they don't produce heat like they used to. So all these new fandangled things that we produce are great. But the old days it would burn the snow off and you could see the lights. Now it doesn't burn anything off. So I moved it over a little bit, my dash, so you can't really see it, but that's a little, because water leaks from up here on this line and falls down, so we'll see how well we do. I'm not going to record for too long. I just wanted to show you the parking abilities of the most amazing humans that we have out here now. The door's getting wet, and that's fine. Get rid of that because that's a little loud. Not allowed that. Clean off the switches and we'll get going. I have 8 hours and 12 minutes of drive time because I'm split resting, and then blah blah blah. I made a cup of tea, so turn my lights off. Got my seat belt on. There's some fast moving clouds over there. And we'll see how well we do trying to get out of here. I should be able to make this cut. I should be alright. I should. I think I've got plenty of room without taking out the side of his hood. All the water's coming in off my windshields, and that's okay, it's just water. Brake lighters are pretty good for that, so them really big holes right there in front of us. I've got to sort of scoot around a little bit to miss them as best I can. I'm going to catch one of them, I think, with the trailer. I caught them earlier, as you know. I think I'm alright now. So when we're in a part there, I knew I'd be alright to get out as long as nobody else did anything stupid. I could have parked over here. I'm always a little worried about parking over in these places. And then you have somebody that doesn't quite know how to back in, or is new and doesn't really, or hasn't really had much training. And we're not very good anymore of teaching people, and we're also not very good at listening to those that want to teach us. So then you get this one parked here, and I got to get around this one, which is easy really, but he's still in the way. He's still a pain in your butt, especially in the dark and it's wet. So like, it's always a challenge. That's why I went there, to show it to you. There's hardly anyone on the fuel pumps. Oh, I know what I didn't get. Hold on a minute, I gotta get some. There we go. I got it now. Now I'm good. Alright, foot off the brake and first gear go. So when I said in the video earlier that if they're in the way, I'll just beat on their door and wake them up. They always get angry when you do that because they feel like you're there's a word for it, isn't there? I can't think what the word is, but this boy is going to do a complete illegal U-turn. It's completely illegal. Yep, he sure is. It's completely illegal. No, he's completely lost. He gave up on that. I have no clue what he's doing. I think he's, I bet he, I know what he did. I know what he did. I bet he got a little confused, but anyway. We're not really going to see anything. I just wanted to show you the parking abilities of a truck stop late at night. That's why I choose my areas and choose where I park. That's, it's not about years of experience, even though people like to say it is, and you can go down that path. I say it's just years of travelling and getting to know your areas as good as you can. So throughout the years, and you finally figure out what you can and can't do, and you also figure out whether you also figure out to use common sense and try not to impose on somebody else and what they're doing. Now we should have a good run. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. We should have a good run through Georgia. And then we got this, which isn't really a major problem, but they're still here, and they don't really like you parking here, but I don't know if they definitely say anything. I think they just leave it alone for the best part. I personally wouldn't park like any of these boys are parked, especially that one there, that Emerson. If that decides to break away, you're done. So these on my right are not so bad, but that boy back there that's parked in the mud like he is, no, I would never do that. No. I've known many people do that, and the truck fell over or slid and couldn't get out, and it cost them a heap to get the wrecker truck to come out and pull them. So see how well we do with my tarps and this lumber. I probably should have rolled my plastic. But my plastic really wouldn't have done too much. It would never have come down the sides, it would have just laid over the top, and it would have been sort of pointless. I believe Thursday when I get there I'm okay. Today is a little
rough. Weather-wise, I believe they got some snow tomorrow. It's a dry day, from what I understand. So we sort of done well to run with the weather as well. So I'm not going to leave it recording because it's pretty pointless, as you can tell. You're not going to see anything, and there's nothing to see. So, but I'm up and running. Still, I've got to get that fucking check engine light fixed. It's not. I keep saying a check engine light. It's not a check engine light. It's a malfunction indication light. It means something just took a crap. I can't. Like I said, I keep repeating myself over and over again. I'm trying to figure out what it is, and I can't find it. So it's either a ghost code or it's a sensor that's not reading properly. It just took a crap. If it's a sensor that took a crap, it's a pretty easy fix. So if it's a knock sensor, then it's on the side of the block. I get to run with all the boys. And have fun with them. And of course I'm super heavy. Well, no, I don't even know why I said that. I'm on weight. I'm not super heavy. It's the most ridiculous thing I could have just said. I'm just heavy. No, I'm just on weight. These new words that people throw at me, and it's like, gosh, you're not super heavy. If you're 80,000 pounds, you're legal gross. So stop it. You're not super heavy. You're just up on gross. You'll find more trucks up here. Parked up. In these areas as well. So truck stop parking has always been a challenge. It wasn't so bad back in the day. Well, it really wasn't so bad. It was sort of, most people were pretty courteous and wouldn't just park anywhere or block you in. Occasionally it would happen, but not very often. Now it's just got to a point where nobody knows how to plan ahead. So I always say that you're just seeing abundance of them that park on all the ramps now because there's no ramp to park. And of course, Atlanta is a cluster, so nobody wants to run Atlanta. That's why there's trucks everywhere. There's a truck stop over there. Oh, look at that! There's JP's. That's interesting. I wonder how empty that was earlier. That is interesting. And we'll go back into darkness again. But yeah, truck stops are just... they're just... convenience now for most people, but nobody wants to plan ahead. So if you plan ahead enough and you can figure out what you're up against, you can sort of do what needs to be done and not put yourself in a situation where you're parked up against curbs, double park, blocking people in, having to bed your door beaten on because you know it's like it's a very difficult conversation to have at times, because people are like, well, what are we supposed to do? Well, I don't know. Not park in front of other people or double park where people can't get out, and then it's a hard. Sometimes I beat on a geezer's door once for 15 minutes. Just beat on his door. Couldn't get him to get out of the bed. Just kept. I couldn't get past him. He was blocking everything. And I beat on his door 15 minutes to try and get him to wake up. He just parked it and abandoned it because it was obviously that time. Dang. So the challenge I've got now is to get through Atlanta, get through Chattanooga, and get up to Nashville. If I can do all that by the morning, I'm doing really well for myself. Get up to 65 and crack on. So that's my plan. Get up and beat all the traffic, and once I've done that, I'm good. If I can get above Crashville on 65, I'm doing really well for myself. So. My axles are good. That spread being a little bit heavy is alright. If I could have got it to come forward about a foot, I probably could have got that weight off that spread and put it on my drives, and I would have been even better. So. But it's always a challenge, and you don't want to put that much weight up front when you got a 40,000 pound spread at the back. So you got 20,000 pound on each axle. So when I'm 34,760. I can burn, that weight right there isn't a problem to me. Plus, when I put diesel back on, I'll put a little more weight back on the front of it. So. And I'm not going to put a massive amount of weight back on anyway. So fuel back on, I'll put enough to get me up to Colfax. So Colfax, Wisconsin, I've been there before. I think I recorded coming out of there. And we run down to Roberts, Wisconsin to the Flying J. So Colfax, Wisconsin, I loaded lumber out of there. Wood Run, I think it is, or something like that. So we're delivering just down the road from Wood Run, Timber Technologies. And then Wood Run's just a little further north of Timber. So when I come in, Timber Technologies will be to the south of Wood Run. So I'm not sure if she's going to load me lumber out of there again and run with it or what. It's hard to say. So if it is, then it'll be a nice chilly day up there because the temperature is going to be not in the 70s plus, it'll be in the 30s. So now I'm going to go from one exchange to the other. I'm going to go from being extremely hot, wearing shorts and a t-shirt and sweating my titties off, to extremely cold, putting all my thermals back on again and trying to keep warm. So it's and that's how in this industry, that's why you got to take care of yourself, because that's how you end up becoming ill and having head colds and colds and blah blah blah. But I don't wear a lot of clothes in winter anyway, just my thermals and that, which keeps my heat in. I don't like to overheat myself because that's pretty. It's not what you need to do either. You got to figure out. You're just about keeping yourself warm enough. It's your hands and your head and your feet. That's your problems right there. Thanks for that, boys. About as bad as the one there at the fucking drugstore. Gosh, I still can't get over the fact I fell down into that. So. I think I might have messed up my when I hit that curve, and then that big pothole, I might have messed my alignment back up a bit. So we'll see. Let's see which way she goes right now. She's still coming over, but I'm cambering as well. So. Really isn't anything between here and Atlanta. So from sort of Macon all the way up to Atlanta, that there really isn't anything. Not at all. It's just them truck stops back there, that's pretty much it. And ramps, if they'll allow you to park on the ramps without giving you any grief. So nice. So they'd like to go the other way, that was awesome. Just me waffling. Trying to dry out my glass. Everything's a mess. I've got moisture everywhere, so. This what I'm talking about. It's like this one coming up on my side right now. This moron right here. He's got no. The only thing it's interested in is itself and itself only. It has no understanding of anything else. Thinks it's all about itself. In other words, it doesn't take into account that it could be something ahead of him. His look, his visibility, and he's like, yeah, I see it. You can't see it. There's a car right there, but. His visibility and his ability to be able to see when it's wet and that. And because I put the turn signal, I want to get over. And he's charging along at a speed. And he can see as much as I can, so he can see around me enough to see that there's something up on the shoulder. And that's the whole ability of being able to look ahead and drive for other people as well as yourself. So that's the whole purpose of being able to drive for other people. So you can see what's going on and you can move over and get out of the way so you don't block them in case they want to move over. But forward there, them boys right there, they're a dime a dozen like the rest of them. I'm not perfect. I was taught like I am and I'm not. I've made a lot of mistakes and I've learned from them as well. But them forward air boys, man, it's anything to do with moving for aviation. On a mission. That's why I'm sort of glad to be back where I am, because as much as I am on a mission, I'm not nowhere near as pushed as I used to be. So it's quite nice to be able to run what I call at a pretty decent pace. If I make a mistake, they'll let me know. Most of the time, they just leave me alone. So. Monday I was late. I was like nearly 2 hours late. That was on me. I messed around and took too long. And I tried driving slow. My New Year's resolution was partly one of them was to drive slower than I was before. And I was already driving slow, but it sort of messed me over. So I didn't gain anything from it. Then I screwed myself over and I ended up making it that I was 2 hours late. But luckily they had no real major problems, and Bobby was already there before me anyway. So Bobby delivered and good to go past. Yeah, I know I'm still recording, mate. I keep saying I'm going to block it off. I might just leave it for a bit. Like I said, you can't really see too much, but I don't know. Maybe it's a little different. I think I've done it before. You can't really see anything, so. looking at is the weather. How crap it is. The hardest part about driving through this sort of weather is the water comes up through the bottom of the trailer into that lumber. So the bottom of the lumber will get wet regardless. I can't stop it from doing it. I'm coming back into another storm. There was some amazing thunder earlier, lightning and thunder. Oh, the one was so... When I woke up, there was one just massive, huge bang. It was just absolutely over the top of us. It was insane. I think the showers are going to be sporadic. I think I'm sort of going to hit showers, not hit showers, hit showers, not hit showers. So it's going to be on and off. I don't know, maybe I'll record into Atlanta. On the outskirts of it anyway, maybe I'll see. It's just sort of like, why would you want to watch a video where you can't see anything? And sometimes it might be of interest, so sort of swings and roundabouts. There's I always like when I start recording again. It's been a while where I got back into recording as much as I am, and I always like the fact that Useless Tube will start bringing up video of other people. So like it'll bring up people in the UK. So there's a certain female truck driver that decided to show me on my page, and I always find it amusing when I like watching other people's videos, whether they're good or bad. That's up to other people. I like anybody's creation, as long as you're not talking bollocks. I talk a lot of bollocks, but as long as you're not talking bollocks, I like watching people's videos. Sometimes I cringe a little, but then I have to remember that what I think might be great in what I'm doing is pretty crap to anybody else. So, I have to get myself back in check. I'll put my clips back on my gosh, I can't remember now. I'm getting old and senile. Going over Publix. Well, back out of it now, Publix, because I'm coming over, brother. Anyway, there's a certain lady from Somerset area, and she's running tipper trailers, or in the United States of America they call them end dumps, and then she's also running a blower trailer. So but it's different, and it's interesting. But I think, and it's like see, the problem with conversation is when you try to talk about something that you see in your own mind, is the majority of the world now, feelings get hurt and you've got to wrap them in cotton wool because they're a bunch of fucking... Never mind. So like, you watch a video and you realise that the majority of people that are subscribed will of course be absolutely. And I always think to myself, why isn't there more females subscribed, you know what I mean, to watch the industry? Well, most of them are genuine within reason, you know they are, and then the rest of them are just there because it's a female. And of course, nobody really expects their channels to take off. Like I have no, it's of no concern to me whatsoever. Useless is always trying to knock on my door and tell me. Like at one stage I remember there was ads, I don't even know if they still are, they were putting ads on my videos. And I'm like, why are you putting ads on my videos when I haven't advertised anything as such? So I'm a little interested there as to what it is. Or is there something I'm doing then that gives you the right to put adverts on there that you classify it as advertising? Because as far as I understood, the only reason you'd have ads on there is because of something or other. I don't know if it's every single one of my videos. I don't know because I don't personally watch them all the time. But I am intrigued to know as to why they thought that was okay to do that. And that was a set before Colfax, Wisconsin to actually, I don't even think it was Colfax. I think it was Eau Claire, wasn't it? Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Or was it Colfax? No, I think it was Colfax, Wisconsin and Roberts, wasn't it? I believe it was. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I come out of Eau Claire, but I don't think I recorded out there up to Colfax. I think I just came out of Colfax and across. And then from Roberts, from Colfax, we went across to North Dakota and delivered. No, I think it was South Dakota actually, right on the South and North Dakota border. And then we went up and loaded a load of hay, and we took that to the dairy. That's right. Sioux Falls, right? We took it to the dairy in Sioux Falls area, didn't we, if I remember right? And then we loaded out of Sioux Falls. Back down to Kearney. Yeah, I believe that's how it went. So we went Colfax, Wisconsin, so we went Eau Claire to Colfax, I stopped in Roberts, Flying J. Then we went up to, I can't remember the name of the place now, but somewhere on the North Dakota, South Dakota border right there. And then we went up and loaded hay a little further north where I got lost and missed the person that was driving around on the loader in the field, and I missed him completely. And then we loaded out and came back down towards Sioux Falls. We unloaded. And then we loaded in Sioux Falls and I met down at Kearney. That's right. But anyway, I'm all over the place, aren't I? So yeah, I watched the video and I love on trial and error doing things. And it's always a gamble when you try. I don't do anything but just put my phone on the dash. Other people experiment a little and they use web dash cams and head cams and all that. And good luck to you, I'm proud of you for trying something different. Me, I have no clue what I'm doing, so I just put the phone on the dash and leave it at that. I don't know how to link stuff in YouTube or anything like that. So I'm sure if I sat down and worked at it, I could figure it out. But for the best part, I have no clue what I'm doing. So I just don't really worry about it too much. As predominantly, I'm only recording for you two because you're awesome, and for the likes of anybody else that comes along and wishes to listen to my wafflings and watch these journeys, which I'm sure will put you to sleep within the first 5 minutes. I mean, that's why I only get like 3-4 minutes of viewing, because then people fall asleep. So yeah, I never really expect my channel, but that young lady's channel just like boom, it just kicked off. Well, A, she's a female, of course you can knock me for that and say no it's not, well it is, because she's a female. And B, all your hungries will be there like a shark, and C, there's a lot of genuine boys that take an interest, but it's still because she's a female. And she does things a little different. And she shows you stuff and she edits her videos and goes out of her way and spends a lot of time to make the content entertaining. And I'll give her credit there because she does go out of her way to do that. I'm not particularly keen on the music she plays. I don't really personally think it's a necessity or it's needed, but that's just my feelings and thoughts on it. This Association believe that nobody else is allowed to use but them, but we'll include that in a song and we'll put it on. I just don't get that. I wouldn't do it. Yeah, look at this asshole. Look at this. Yeah, this is the moron from earlier that didn't quite know what lane he wanted to be in. Now he doesn't know what he's doing. He hasn't got a fucking clue. No. I swear, because I get frustrated with him, because he wasn't going anywhere and then he sees me come around him and now he wants to speed up, so that's why I just get frustrated. Another Kia Soul broken down. So anyway, there's a lot of good content out there, and it's always interesting watching other people's views. I don't join them, I'm not subscribed to them. I gave up subscribing to people's channels. I got quite a few of my conspiracy theory channels, as people like to call them, because I like them boys. Man, it's getting harder and harder this way. You know, I've drove straight up through Atlanta before. Stay at it through Atlanta. They always said if you keep over to the right as best you can and don't get anybody's way, they'll leave you alone. I'm sure the day I go up there, and I've never had anybody give me a ticket. I've had many of them pass me, but I always try and just go 285. Yeah, I need to check up on. There was another young lady who went from being a teacher to a truck driver. She was in Brummy land, West Country land, Black Country land. She was around that area. I don't know if that old girl's still going or not. I don't follow the road legends anymore, because I used to sort of follow when they first started, but the minute they started calling themselves the road legends. Oh, what's going on back there? It's a little confusing. Why is there a truck? Why is there a truck facing us? Why is he on? What the hell is he? What? I'm confused. How is? Where is he? Turn around or what he's doing, but that was confusing. So yeah, I don't really follow them boys anymore. I never really follow them anyway. I just used to occasionally watch their videos and that. But a lot of people, I have to be so careful how I speak, because it always makes you sound like you're a negative prick and you're a miserable wanker. And it's like, no, it's just. Sometimes the image we give off when we're recording, and I'm bad for it as well, so sometimes the image we give off, and sometimes what we do and that can be good or bad. I don't classify anything I do as good, nor do I classify it as bad. I just classify it as my everyday working day, and it's a phone on a dash, recording some crap going down the road. It entertains my mum and dad, and that's pretty much where I'm at. And anybody else that joins in, you're more than welcome. I have, I think, close to 321 subscribers. I don't really have that many people. My subscription count, well, it looks pretty huge in respects since the day I started. video, like my watch time is growing, and it's nearly at 4,000 minutes or views or whatever it is. I don't know what the class it is, but anyway, it's getting up there. But the amount of people that watch my videos that are subscribed is nothing compared to those that are not subscribed. So when I look at my useless studio that they allow you to look at, and they change that so much that, and I've got it on my phone, so I have no clue what I'm doing. It's the best way to say it. I have no clue. It's on there, and I don't know. It is what it is. It's I think nearly 89 to 90% of it, it's probably even more than that, is not subscribed, and a certain percentage is subscribed that watch the channel. And it always cracks me up because I got 321 people now that subscribe, but I guarantee out of them subscriptions there's probably only a handful if I'm lucky to watch it. And that's pretty much how they show it. Oh, there's flooding right now. So it's always interesting. And human nature will make you become more excited as time goes on. That I'm going to get over it because I think, if I remember right, they did change things up there. No, I'm in the wrong fucking lane. Gosh darn it, man. I'm in the right lane to start with, man. I'm so good at doing that, aren't I? Not really. I gotta remember not to do that. Right, let's turn that off for a second. So this car's going to catch me out right here. See, and I don't really want to pass it. There's no purpose of me passing it because I got a real hard turn coming up here. I'll go round to the right, and it is a hard turn. They changed this whole section, and I should have known better than to get in that fucking lane when the sign was already saying exit only because I'm a muppet. So anybody gets excited over anything to do with their channel growing, and it feels weird saying that because it's just a bunch of videos that you upload to a platform that, and I think when it first kicked off, a lot of people were making a lot of good money. I think it took them a while to get there, but they were making good money, and it depends on your content. And I'm sure if you're really good at what you do and you can get out there, your content grows. So, but you've got to work at it all the time. And if you talk to a lot of people that are involved in building their platforms, you really do have to go and work at it all the time. It never stops. That's why I don't worry about it. It's why it's like not really a major concern. I'm always grateful for anybody that finds an interest in sitting along and watching. I'm always grateful for comments. Comments are awesome. It doesn't matter which way you talk or say or what you do, that's entirely up to you. It's freedom of speech. It's the beauty of freedom of speech. If I get upset, that's down to me. Some of the channels I watch, they're consistently getting death threats and just ridiculous amount of stupidity. But I've never had that. I don't know what you're doing there, my friend. You know what you want to do? You've got your turn signal on, are you going to stay where you're at? Making sure you know what you're doing there. Alrighty, you are going off the exit. See, Variant's going to go through on 75. He's over there on the left going through now right now. And he's not supposed to. Technically you're not. Only if you're delivering. Well, most of these boys will run straight through the city and they won't really say anything. And I think I might have shown it to you before. This is 85. This will lead us underneath Atlanta Airport. This curve is, they've improved this a lot. It's still the same nasty ass curve.